Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? And I know you're wondering, what the heck is on her desk? Well, we are going to start our new journal for March. And our new journal is going to be a sewing journal. And I have been wanting to do a sewing journal for such a long time. And I have been planning. And it's actually, I plan and then it changes and I plan some more. So what we're going to do is, I have chosen the book that I'm going to use. And I've got my papers cut for the signature. Where are they? Here. Here are the papers. And as you can tell, these signatures are a little thin for what I usually do. There are only 7 papers per signature. That's right, 7. And this is the book that I used for a few of the pages. And, you know, if you would like to take a look for it, I got it on Amazon and I've had it for eons. This book gives you permission to copy, to enlarge, to make smaller, to use the images in the book as you see fit. Now, some are full size. You could copy that page and then cut out some of these images if you chose, or you can use the page as whole and fold it and just use the page, like this if you want. You don't have to copy it. You can use them as they are. But if you wanted, you could make a color copy of this page and then cut out some of these images, fussy cut them if you chose. But some of these images I'll be using in this book. So if you choose to call these printables, then that's what they are. If you choose to call them something else, then that's what they are. It's totally up to you. But I used this book to get this page, and I used it to get, and because I wanted this page. And there are a few of the, and I think it was that page, maybe not, I don't remember. There were a few of the printables that I wanted. Here they are. I have them on cardboard to cut out. These, because we're going to do something with them, and these little tiny spools, because we're going to do something with them. So I spent the day yesterday fussy cutting, and fussy cutting, and fussy cutting. Those little teeny tiny images. So, for a project that we're going to be doing. So let me tell you about our book. So this is the book that we're going to be using, right here. Now, I will probably be covering it, maybe not. I do kind of like the title, considering that we're, going to be making it into a sewing book. And, somewhere here is my spine. Let me move my little cutter here. Somewhere here is the spine that is going in here. I've already got it made. Well, it's here somewhere. But here's the book block. So this is the book block. So my goal, and you all know how bad I am at this. I can hear you giggling. Here's my goal. By the time we're finished decorating, is not to have our book any bigger than this. Okay? That's why I only put 7 pages per signature. There, see? 7 pages per signature, and I have all that room for decorating. So, if I just have 7 pages per signature, there's where I'm starting. So I have lots of room that I can decorate with. And trust me, we're going to do some decorating. Before we ever get started, we're not going to sew them in. We're going to decorate the pages first before we sew them in, because we've got a lot of work to do. So we're going to set this aside. We're going to set the book block aside. And I need to figure out what I did with my spine that I made, because I haven't found it yet. It's here on the table someplace, I'm sure. and I'll find it. So one of the first things that we're going to do is, if you have old things like, I'll be using old things like, these are some old blue jeans that I got at a secondhand store, some scraps of lace, and this is just a little scrap of fabric that I stamped on. See, I even have a little hole punched in it. I don't care. We're going to make some little clusters, some old tissue from a pattern. You know, dig into your stash, see what you have, because we're going to be decoupaging this onto some pockets and onto a few pages, and I'll decoupage mine the day before so that it's dry, or the night before so that it's dry. Some fabric strips, you know, then of course all the paraphernalia that goes along with sewing. Where if you like to do slow stitch, now's your time to shine, because we're also going to be making a, I'm going to show you how I make my, what are they called? My needle, you know, the little thing for your needles. Let me show you what mine, I can't think of what they're called. Needle, these things, those things that you keep your needles in. I'm going to show you a way to make one of these. Now mine is just held together with Velcro, but I keep my needles and my pins and a little bit of thread in them. I'm going to show you how I made mine. And you could, now mine's made with fabric and I made it on my machine, but I'm going to show you a way that you can make one with some felt if you want, if you don't have a sewing machine, so that you can, you know, you can do it that way, or you can hand sew one with some embroidery floss, or if you don't have embroidery floss and you just have felt and, you know, a couple of spools of black thread and white thread, you can do that. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And we're going to start off by adding some of our flips to our pages before we ever even get started. And then, of course, we're going to play with buttons. We're always going to play with buttons. We're going to play with some ribbon. Oh, there's our spine. We're going to play with some ribbon in our journal. Got to play with ribbon. All seamsters just play with ribbon. And we're going to play with some lace. You know, I've got all this lace up here. We're going to play with some lace in here. And my journal, I'm not calling it a junk journal. The theme of my journal is I want to pretend that if I was a seamstress and this was my journal for keeping track of projects, you know, that I might be doing along the way, how would I set it up? You know, if I was sewing on a project, okay, let's pretend this way. I might take this piece of fabric and I might say, you know, I like that together, and it goes with a piece of this. So I might tear off a piece of this scrap fabric, or I might say, no, I'm doing something else with it. I might tear off a piece of this fabric that had the daisies on it. And, you know, actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to. Or put something else with it and then make some clusters with it. Or make a flip with it, or, you know, do something like that. That's how my journal's going to be set up. My journal's going to be set up something like that. I'm going to take my spreads and I'm going to say, you know, something like that. If I was going out somewhere shopping, this is the page that I would use as reference to buy something while I was shopping. Now, these are the items that I'm going to have in my project while I'm shopping. And say, on my project, I'm going to have maybe that button, and I'm going to have one of those, or maybe I'm going to have one of these. And that's the way that I'll plan. And, of course, every page may not be like that. Every page may be a little bit different, but I kind of want to play around with my pages and say, you know, this is my page for me, whoops, this is my page to take with me if I was going someplace, because my pages are going to get chunky. You know, they're going to get a little chunky, and I know that. So I need to do what's best for my pages, because I know they're going to be chunky. And by adding the texture and the color to them, I'll be able to get what's best. Now, these little blue jeans don't have a pocket, but they do have a front pocket. So maybe I can use this little front pocket by taking it out here in the front. And I can use this little front pocket for something. Or I can cut the little legs off here, right here, and make a little pocket out of it. Or even use this to make my little something else. So we're just going to be getting creative. We're going to be having fun. And I hope you join me in having some fun with me. And let me get my table cleared off, and we're going to get started decorating our pages and getting things prepared, and getting some flips added, and then we'll be ready to go on our little sewing journal. So hold on a second. Let me get stuff off of the desk, and I will be right back. Okay. All right, so I have these 2 envelopes here. Unfortunately, they're not coffee dyed, but I wanted to experiment and see. So what gave me this idea was yesterday I was playing around, and I covered, let me show you what I covered here. I was hoping it was right here on top. I covered a piece of old newspaper. It might be in here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me get those fussy cuts out of the way. I covered a piece of old newspaper in a coffee dyed envelope. And I've noticed that the coffee dyed envelope, the envelope portion of the, when you coffee dye them, it gets an old, and here it is. It gets a different look and feel to it. Can you hear that? Versus this. It kind of sort of has the same sound, but the look is different because the coffee attaches to it. And so what I thought we would do, and this is really thick cardstock, and I'm just kind of roughly cutting this out, is I needed another envelope. I needed another envelope that looked like that for this little piece. And that was what gave me the idea. So I thought, I wonder how I can make these windows look that way. Because I want the windows in this to look that way. So I thought, I wonder if ink, not oxide, because oxide won't stick to this, if ink will work on this. Now, you don't want your ink to be dark, because that would obscure it. But I thought, I wonder if tea dye ink would work on it. So I thought, let's give it a try. So I got my tea dye ink, and I'm also going to try my vintage photo ink. Now remember, these are inks. They're not oxides, they're inks. And we're going to give it a try here. And we're going to see if they work. So I'm just going to use the big dauber, and then I'm going to use the little one. Actually, you know what? Let's start with the little one. Maybe I'll have more control with it. And I wanted to start around these corners, because these corners, we can never get Now, you can never get those covered. And I'm just going right into the... Oh, look, it is working. Can you see the ink getting on there? So I want to just go around the corners here. And I'm not being gentle. I'm going into the plastic. But it's not very dark on there. Now, let me show you the difference. There's not a lot of difference at all. Tea dye is really pale. Even though it doesn't look like it on there, it really is. All right, so let's try this color on there. And if this doesn't work, I'll just tea dye my envelope, or coffee dye my envelopes. Okay, now this one's working better. And I'm wondering if it's because the inside of my envelope is white. So I've got this coffee dyed envelope here. I'm not gluing it or anything. I'm just kind of folding it up. And I'm just going to stick it in there to kind of give us a reference. And I don't think it's really going to give me the color I want. Let's try it like this. I mean, I don't want it to be neat. I want it to look messy, you know, and old. Oh, now that's better. I do like that better. But it picked up the edge of this. So let's maybe see if this will fit inside of it. Does this fit in there? No, but I bet this one does. And I don't care that this one's white. Ah, there, that's giving me the look I want. Okay, now before I can do anything else, I need to sit that aside and let it dry. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one, because these are going to have to dry. So we'll just sit these aside and let them dry. And we'll see if they worked. We'll come back and see if they worked. And if they didn't, I'll coffee dye them today. But we'll give them an opportunity to dry. And if they do, woohoo, look at the door I've just opened up. But I'm going to give them some time. And I don't have alcohol ink, so I know you all are thinking alcohol ink, alcohol ink. I don't have alcohol ink. It bothers my asthma. That's why I thought this might work. So I'm going to put this down here in the drawer. I didn't get any off, so I'm just going to let these dry. I'm going to put these up here to the side and let them dry for a little bit, or hopefully they'll dry. All right. Hopefully they'll dry. If not, well, maybe I'll have to get some alcohol ink and a mask. Okay. So in here, I want to add some flip outs. And I saved a piece of coffee dyed paper that was torn from being coffee dyed, and I want to create our first flip out here. And then I have these two pieces of an envelope that we're going to use to make a couple of others. So and then this big piece here. Okay, this is just like a, I had originally thought of making this of, you know, because it's so heavy, but now I'm not sure. Okay, so this, just choose a page, any page that you want to put it on, and I want to start kind of here in the middle. Yeah, this page will work. And I'm just going to put it on this side. I mean, you can put it left or right, it doesn't matter. I need to clean that edge up though. Now, I do have some really thin cardstock that's about the same weight as this, that's got a sewing print on it that I might also use. There we go. Okay. Now this is just going to be a real simple pocket fold out. It's not going to be, you know, anything real big, and I just want it to be folded about 2 inches. Maybe 3. So I'm folding it about 3 inches. Give me a good size for a pocket. Okay. So I would glue there, but I want to leave about 1 inch, okay, for my flip. So I'm just folding it in. Let me make sure I'm as big as I want to be here. So I'm folding it in about 1 inch to give it for my flip portion. And then I'm just going to tear this little piece off. And that's okay that it's ragged edges. I don't care. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, as you can tell, I didn't fold it straight. That's no big deal. Now, my corners on my pages will be rounded. So I'm going to round these corners. And I'm going to go on and punch this. Okay. And we're going to go on and fold this back. Oops, come here, you. Let's go on and round these corners. Now, do I want to go on and round this? I think I do. If I can get it in there. Let's see if it'll go in there. There we go. Yeah, behave yourself. Okay. Good gracious. So I want to welcome, we have 2 new subscribers to our channel. I want to welcome them. And I also want to say a great big Heidi ho to all of our subscribers. I hope you guys are going to join me. And to all of you all that have YouTube channels, if you'd like to jump in and share this on your channels, you can share it as a hashtag sewing journal. I'd love to have some other YouTube channels share along with us. That would be fun. There we go. Did I fold that wrong? I don't think I did. Just a gentle fold. Now, I'm going to decorate that one. Did I fold that wrong? I did. So now I got to put it over here. Oh, well. All right. So we'll put that there. Now, I'm just going to paper clip it. So since we're not sewing it in yet, I can do that. I'm just going to paper clip it. So I know that that's where I want it. And then we'll come in and decorate after we get them where we want them. Okay, so we know we're going to have a pocket there. Okay, so get back over there. So let's put this back in here. So we know we're going to have one there. Now let's make one for the other side. Now we need to straighten this one up. Now I think I want to use, for this side, let's go on and use one of these pages here. Now this is just out of an old scrapbook pack that I had. I don't know, I don't even know when I got it or where I got it actually. But I think I want to use this, one of these. I think I want to use this green one. Okay, so I need to cut this. Let's see, it goes this way. So I folded it to be 3 inches. It doesn't have to be the same. Does not have to be the same at all. Okay, so I'm going to cut it right across there. I have a line on there I can see, so I'm just going to cut it right across there. Okay, and then I need to give myself about 1 inch for my flip. So let me mark it on here so I can see it. Right about here. And because this will be white and the other side is going to have a pattern on it, I think I want to cover this because I don't want to see white paper. So it'll go like that. So I think I want to cut a little strip of this and put it right there so it matches. So I just need a little 1-inch strip of this green. So I can put it on there. And I'm actually, instead of cutting, let me show you where I'm cutting. There's my line. But instead of cutting on the line, I'm going to cut inside the line. Because I don't need it to be, right there, I don't need it to be where that fold is. Now, had I thought ahead, I would have cut that paper I would have just folded this paper big enough to give myself my fold that I wanted. Or I could have just done it, but I wasn't thinking. Okay, so now my fold is covered. See, I actually cut it a little bit too big, and I can trim it. So I can glue this on here. So let's glue this on our fold. And now you won't see the white. So I'm doing that first. Let's see here. It goes, which way does it go? It goes this way. It's going to go this way, maybe. If I can get a hold of it. All the way up. All the way down. So now you're not going to see the white. So over here, get all kinds of flippity flops all over me. I'm going to glue this closed. Okay. Just like that. Now we can attach this to the page. Let's trim that off back here. Like that. There we go. And now we can choose the page that we want this one on. Okay, so let's squish that down there really well. So now let's choose a page on this side. Now, as you'll notice, these are sticking out a little bit. Now, I'm just going to leave these sticking out because, remember, this is going to be the journal that you would take for if you were going shopping, okay? So I want things to stick out of my journal. Think of your personal journal that you take with you when you go shopping. You make your grocery list, you make your list, you know, to go to the hardware store. Things are sticking out of it everywhere. You're going to work, you know, you have your to-do list. Things are just everywhere. I know when I worked and my son was little, I had lists all over the place. And my journals weren't neat. They were so far from neat, they were scary. And because he had soccer games and he had, you know, I had meetings for his school and my goodness, I had stuff on there for everywhere. I had meetings for work and this and that and meetings, you know, meeting friends at the gym and Girl Scout meetings, and I had stuff paper clipped and sticky noted, and it was a mess. So that's kind of this. I don't mind if things are sticking out. I'm actually going to make some raggeties so things do stick out a little bit. And if you don't know what a raggedy is, you will find out. So I don't mind if things are sticking out a little bit. There. Okay, so now we have one on both sides. And we have this little piece left. And we're going to put it aside. And I don't want to lose this little thing because this is part of this is one of the last pieces of an antique. Let's see if I have a little piece here I can put it on of an antique what do you call it? I guess newspaper, newslet, something like that. That was from the 60s that I had. And this is the very last piece of it. I don't know if I want to put it on white, though. Maybe I'll put it on, let's put it on here. Let's put it on here. And it is so fragile that even just touching it makes it fall apart. And the little poem that's on here is called Grandmother's Quilt. There's just like little bits and pieces of it that are left. There. So I've been trying to save the little bits and pieces that I have left of it. There we go. That was what I did with that bigger piece. I covered it with a transparency so that it wouldn't. There. Okay. Now I'm going to let that dry, and then most likely I'll create, you know, a transparency over it too. There. Now let's just cut this off here. There we go. Okay. All right, so something else in here. Now, let's add some pockets. Let's start adding some pockets and some tucks while we're at it. So this little green piece would make a perfect, it would make a perfect little tuck somewhere, wouldn't it? Now, we have green over there. Let's move some green over here. How about, no, that's too busy. All right, so maybe, come on. Let's maybe add, let's see, where do I want to put that, this? Where do I want to put this? This paper. I think I want to put this in here. and I want this on top of it. And I want to make sure I get the scissors. So let's pull this page out, and let's go on and do that. Okay, so you don't have to use a wet liquid to decoupage down if you don't want to. You can use a good glue stick if you choose. It's done the same way, and you do have to be careful. You can't touch it. Now, this piece is way too long. I'm going to have to do some tearing. And if you like a torn edge on what you're doing, if you don't want straight edges on what you're doing, then tear before you start your gluing. Like, I want some torn edges on mine. Okay, so I'm going to tear a little bit. I just need to be careful. There we go. And then I need to place. And if it's going to go over that, then I need to make sure it goes over it, not just touches it. And then I can reinforce this spine with some washi tape before I sew it in, either on this side or the other side. Now let's pull that up. Okay. Now this side, I have plenty of room. I can give myself a torn edge. There. Now, I want to darken my page. I want to make my actual coffee dyed page a little bit darker here on the edges. Like this. So I'm going to take my oxide and I'm going to just smear it around here. Because that's just going to blend right into it. So I just want this just like this. Okay. There, just like that. Now, I'm not going to be able to put this pocket on right away because otherwise the wetness of the glue stick will cause this to stick down. Now, you can create clusters on this if you choose. And those are always fun to do. But see the difference now? Can you see the difference now? Okay, so where's my glue stick at? Let's go on and use this one that's almost empty. Let's get it done. So the best way to use a glue stick for this is to start at the top. Now, let's move those pages and make sure you all can see me well. Okay, start at the top. You know, find where you're going. Start at the top. Once it's down, hands off. You know, hands off. Don't touch it. Okay, you can come back and do your top coat later, but don't touch it right now. And then lift it up. This kind of gives you an idea of where you need to go. Come across, and I need to come down my sides. And down. Now, I don't have any over here yet, but I'll get to that in a minute. Okay. Now, over here, I need some. Okay. see, did I miss over here? I did. Right here. Now, because my page was already folded, I can come in here and I can make sure that this is stuck. Okay, good. Now that's what it's going to look like. Now when it's dry, I can come in and I can make this darker if I want. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. Oh, that went down so nice. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Now, if you want to put something on top of this, which I do, I'm going to use the same glue stick. And I'm going to go right over the top of it. And I know you're thinking, what the heck? But I want this glue stick to dry. And it will. It will take a while, but it will dry. This glue stick will dry. And when this glue stick dries, it will protect this. And it will not be sticky. I do this with lots of different things. Now, I'm going to let this alone, and I'm going to let this dry. And this is just Scotch permanent glue stick. Now, this will take some time to dry, because this glue stick takes a while to not be sticky. But I have used this on creating envelopes, and I've used this on creating old looking other things. And when it's done and it's dry, then I can come back and do other treatments on it if I choose. Okay, I don't want that on it. But right now, if I want, because it's all sticky, if I want to add other things like lace or buttons or anything else to it, I can. Because, well, it's full of glue. So now's your chance. Do you want to add something else to it? Now, I might want to add some lace down the side. So let's see. I think I actually do want to add some lace down the side. Actually, I think I might want to add this little cluster to it that I've been working on. This little piece of lace, maybe. Because I know it will stick in there. And then I think I want this little piece to stick out the side. Except I need to cut this off right here. Here we go. Now I think I'm going to need some more glue for this one. Right there. Yeah, I need more glue for that little piece. And I think I need something bigger for in there. That's too big. Ooh, wait. I think they're that. Let's try that one. No, I don't think I like that. I want some lace on it, but nothing's making me happy. Oh, no, that's better. Yeah, I'm going to have to add some more glue, but that's better. I like that. Okay, I'm going to have to use this, though, to get them down. Okay, so on this page, I'm making a cuff for a size 2 for a child, and maybe this lace is what I'm looking at. Yeah, I like that. I like that lace. No, I don't like that butterfly on there. Oh, that's a carrot. I don't want a carrot. But I do like that butterfly like that. Maybe we'll put that someplace else. No. Okay, I'm going to let that dry, and then I will come back to it. All right, you can go up there in the bipply bob. Okay. And I'll see if anything else rings a bell for me. Okay, so here we are so far. Yeah, see, that's drying already. And then when that's dry, it will have a pocket. It will have that pocket on it. We need to round some corners here. Actually, I think I'm going to make it a tuck. I'm going to make it a little side tuck right here. It will have a little side tuck. I'm going to make it a little side tuck for right there. So let's check this out here. Oops, get up there. Okay, so there's that page. Oops, we got some of that on it. Let's get that off. And then this is going to sit right here as a side tuck right there. So we will need to ink this, but it can't go on there yet. Because it's still too wet. Alrighty. Well, I think our time is up for the day. Let's see how much time we have used in playing today. This has been a whole lot of fun. Oh, goodness sakes. Yes, our time is up for the day. I'm so glad you all joined me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have had so much fun playing. And again, if you have a YouTube channel or you decide to share this with a buddy that has one and they would like to participate, I'll put up in the description box the information. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. I'm going to like that. Just like that. Or maybe over there. No, I think I am going to like it right there. And I do like that I can see the scissors. Yeah, I think I do want to make sure that these edges stick down so they're not getting caught. Yeah. And then that will sit there like that. Oh, yeah. And I'll ink these other two pockets that we made before we glue those down too. But this one's not going to get glued down yet. So I will paper clip it to this side after that glue dries like we did the others. There we go. So for now, I'm just going to stick it under there so I don't lose it. Oh, yes, I love that. And then here's the two pockets that we already have in place. We just need to decorate them. So we have just a very simple folded pocket. We have that just very simple folded pocket. And then we have the green pocket over here. And then we have our covered page over here. that's going to have a little tuck on it. So we have our sewing journal all ready to go. And we are moving on day 1 of our sewing journal. I'm so excited. It's time to start decorating and creating. Isn't this fun, you guys? I love, love, love this. So I'm so glad you joined me today. And I hope that you come back. Oh, and I think I just found a home for this. I do think that this is going to sit right there. See, I knew I'd find a home for it. I'm so glad that you joined me today, and I hope that you come back. And I hope that you created a sewing journal with me. And I hope that you participate and have some fun. Okay, that can go there. And you can share it with your friends. You can share it, anybody that you want to share it with. And again, welcome to all of our new subscribers. I'm so glad that you decided to join us here at the Ladybug Journals, where we have some fun and we get into all kinds of mischief. You just never know what we're going to do. There. Oh, yeah, I do like that. I do like that quite a bit. Yeah. And I do tend to change my mind quite a bit. As you'll find out over the course of time. There we go. Now, I will find a place over here maybe to put some sewing paper. I do have more here. And I'll find a place for some of it because I love sewing paper. I think it looks very pretty. So that one's going to go there. I'll find some place for sewing paper over there. And we'll get it all dry by our next video. And we'll add some more flips. And boy, oh boy, we're ready to roll. So thank you once again. And I hope you come back and see me. And we'll keep decorating and we'll keep having some fun. And until I see you again in my next video, ta-ta for now.